Hello everyone! Today we're going back in time to an event that changed the world forever, the Second World War. The world was still getting back on its feet after the First World War, and things were really tense. Germany, led by Adolf Hitler and his Nazi party, started breaking international rules and expanding their power aggressively. Hitler's big plans worried Europe. He took over Austria and part of Czechoslovakia, while other countries tried to calm him down, hoping to avoid a war. But trying to calm him down didn't work. On September 1st, 1939, Germany attacked Poland. Britain and France, who had promised to protect Poland, declared war on Germany 2 days later. This was the official start of World War II. The world got ready for a conflict that would last 6 years and affect millions of lives. The spark had been lit. The world was at war. Everything was set for a global fight like never before. As war broke out, countries formed two big groups, the Axis and the Allies. The Axis powers, Germany, Italy, and Japan, wanted to make their empires bigger by force. They were led by strong rulers and used aggressive tactics like Germany's Blitzkrieg, which means lightning war. The Allies, at first just Britain and France, stood against this aggression, fighting for freedom and democracy. As the war got bigger, the Soviet Union joined in after Germany attacked them in 1941. The United States entered after Japan's surprise attack on Pearl Harbor that same year. With the strong factories of the USA and the huge armies of the Soviet Union, the Allies became even stronger. The world was now divided, with each side determined to shape the future. The fate of nations was hanging in the balance. Everything was set for huge battles across continents. The war was fought on land, at sea, and in the air, with battles that changed history. On the Eastern Front, the Battle of Stalingrad became a turning point. Soviet forces surrounded and defeated the German army, making them retreat. In the West, D-Day, June 6, 1944, saw Allied troops storm the beaches of Normandy, breaking Germany's control in France. Meanwhile, in the Pacific, the Battle of Midway in 1942 shifted things in favor of the United States after they destroyed important Japanese aircraft carriers. These victories marked the beginning of the end for the Axis. Before Stalingrad, D-Day, and Midway, the Axis seemed unstoppable. But after these battles, the Allies gained momentum, pushing Axis forces back on all sides. The tide had turned. Millions of people felt hopeful again as the Allies moved forward. The world watched as the war's outcomes started to change. The end, though still far off, was finally in sight. The Allies pushed ahead, determined to finish the fight. By 1945, Allied forces were closing in on Germany from the east and west. Berlin became the final battleground. Soviet troops stormed the city. Hitler, realizing he was defeated, took his own life. Germany surrendered on May 8, 1945. VE Day. Europe celebrated, but the war wasn't over everywhere. In the Pacific, Japan refused to surrender. The US, wanting to avoid a very costly invasion, dropped atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945. The massive destruction forced Japan to surrender on August 15th. The official end came on September 2nd, 1945. After 6 years, the world was finally at peace. The cost was huge, but the fighting had stopped. The war left cities in ruins and millions of people dead. The world learned about the horrors of the Holocaust. 6 million Jews and millions more were murdered by the Nazis. Borders changed, Germany was divided, and Eastern Europe came under Soviet influence. Old empires fell apart as colonies demanded their independence. Two superpowers emerged, the United States and the Soviet Union, who soon got stuck in a Cold War. To stop future conflicts, nations formed the United Nations in 1945, aiming for peace and cooperation. The war's lessons were clear: unchecked hatred and aggression bring terrible destruction, but courage and working together can protect freedom and build a better world. Remembering this history helps us work for peace today. Thank you.